Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, June 13th, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. The Insurance Insider is reporting that the ultimate losses from damage to the floating production, storage, and offloading vessel known as an FPSO, Kwame Nkrumah, gigantic oil rig kind of apparatus that was placed in the Jubilee fields off the west coast of Africa, might in fact come into the range of about $1.5 billion in claims for the reinsurance industry. This is after the largest insurer involved, Tullow, prepares to increase its claim. Tullow is not an insurer, it's an insured. The Tullow portion of the claim is currently at about $490 million, but it's expected to go up now to about $600 million. It's not necessarily the case that this is going to run across all of the other members of the joint venture. The details of the loss are highly sensitive and closely guarded by the joint venture partners. However, the estimations now are in fact that the previous range of expected losses of about $1.2 billion to $1.4 billion is going to be increased up to about $1.5 billion. Meanwhile, the property facultative market is facing a potential $500 million loss from a fire at the American Chemical Corporation Huntsman's titanium dioxide manufacturing facility in Finland, which occurred in January. Operations at the plant in Pori, Finland were halted after a fire broke out. The plant's running only at 20% capacity and aims to be fully operational by the end of 2018. It's understood that FM Global writes the Huntsman property program and that the upper layers of the cover are facultatively reinsured. The Finnish plant accounts for 15% of Huntsman's global titanium dioxide capacity, and it's understood to produce much of Huntsman's graphic arts grade pigment. In the first quarter, Huntsman recorded a loss of $32 million for the write-off of fixed assets, with an additional $4 million charge for cleanup of the facility. As I say, this is now facing a potential $500 million loss. There was a powerful earthquake yesterday that struck the Greek island of Lesbos. The earthquake was at a magnitude of 6.2 on the Richter scale. It killed one woman and injured 10. It occurred about 3:28 p.m. local time yesterday. It was felt in neighboring islands as well as in Athens. Israel's top hacking operations against the Islamic State were the mechanism that led to the discovery that a small cell of bomb makers in Syria were planning to down planes using sophisticated laptop bombs. The New York Times has reported the discovery of the crucial intelligence, one of the few successes achieved in cyber intelligence against ISIS. This was, of course, later leaked by Donald Trump in his meeting with the Russians in the Oval Office. You will recall earlier this year when the Americans and Europeans instituted extreme security measures at 10 airports across Jordan, Egypt, Kuwait, Morocco, Qatar, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. The reason was that the Israelis had discovered that ISIS bomb makers had designed explosives to fool airport x-ray machines into interpreting them as batteries for laptop computers. The closely guarded intelligence became public knowledge when President Trump blurted it out to the Russian foreign minister and to the Russian ambassador to the United States. Tropical storm Calvin has weakened as it continues its slog across Mexico today, but it's still bringing rain and high winds. The storm is now back to a tropical depression. It's about 45 miles north-northeast of Puerto Angel. It's got maximum sustained winds of about 45 miles per hour. The problem with the storm is that it's a huge rainmaker. It's going to jump up to 12 inches of rain across the states of Chiapas, Guerrero, and Oaxaca. Calvin is the third tropical storm of the eastern Pacific season, which began on May 15th. Part of the confusion that's been going on at 10 Downing Street is also going to impact the insurance and reinsurance industry. The so-called Ogden rate decision that had been made by Liz Truss, the Lord Chancellor, she actually was the Justice Secretary, has been being discussed in meetings between the industry and the government. those discussions are now going to be severely retarded as Theresa May, the Prime Minister, moved Truss from her position as Justice Secretary to Chief Secretary of the Treasury. It's a move that looks likely to delay plans to reform the way the Ogden discount rate is calculated. Truss provided over the February 3.25 percentage point cut to the rate, slashing personal injury payments in a move that cost insurers and reinsurers more than $6.5 billion. In the United States today, Attorney General Jeff Sessions, former senator from Alabama, is going to be testifying in front of the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee about ties that the Russians may have to both himself and to the Trump administration. He's also going to be asked to comment on a story that broke last night, namely that associates and friends of Donald Trump are encouraging him to fire the special prosecutor Robert Mueller, who has recently been appointed to investigate ties that Trump and his associates have with Russia. If Trump fires Mueller, there will be a firestorm of protest unlike anything the United States has ever seen. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.